Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the newly released Mega Tyranitar, and this Pokemon is going to be amazing. You definitely want to get a lot of candies or more the energy for this Pokemon. If you enjoy the showcases, please also leave a like. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter today, but you're still going to see basically everything you have to see for the Mega Tyranitar. It's just very late at night already, and I think 11 minutes or something going to be enough for that. Here we're going to have a very I don't know, thrown together team. This is not something that really you're mostly going to want to run. I just want to have something neutral in the lead for something like a Zacian, so I'm going to run here my shiny Shando Mewtwo, which is definitely also a very cool pick. Sasop going to be a very classic Dialga, but look at this first matchup already. Mega Tyranitar is just stomping away from the opponent, going to be able to also usually hardware Mewtwo with its moveset, and the damage output of this Pokemon is insane. The amount of moves it can take is insane. Like an Iron Head from a Dialga does around 50% health only. It's a super effective stab move from a Dialga and it does not even do that much damage. This Pokemon is an absolute tank in the Open Master League, or like in the Master League Mega variant, which hopefully going to come back eventually as well. Right now, it's not in the schedule for this season. I bet it's going to take a little bit. By the way, great catch here by the opponent onto the Shadow Ball. Usually I'd never throw immediately with my Mewtwo, so that's a wild one that they actually were able to catch there. But currently it's not in the roster for this season, and it might take a little bit until it's back, because there's currently a bug available where you can enter basically with 3 Mega Pokemon / Primal Pokemon into the Mega Master League. And until they have this fixed, there won't be any of that. But even outside of this Pokemon is going to be the best Rock-type raid attacker now. So definitely something that you want just for that reason as well. Of course, especially if you're going to be able to get the XL candy for this Pokemon and get it to the highest Mega level, this is going to be exactly what you want to have here. There's a big mistake here in this game. If I just shield up the Draco Meteor, I still had at least a chance up, but mostly I was still lost. Mega Gyarados is still a little bit better compared to, for example, the Tyranitar, even though you have a little bit less CP. It's still going to be one of the better typings, while Tyranitar, it's a little bit tricky with Tyranitar's fast move, of course, for the Mega Master League here. Being smacked down, it's not really something that you commonly see, but now also with the new move Brutal Swing, it's going to do a little bit more damage as well for raid attacks as well, which is going to be very nice. So definitely a Pokemon you kind of want to have here, as we're going to encounter a Reshiram. Of course we can go for one charge move, but now we're going to encounter the power of the Mega Tyranitar again. We will be able to just go for the full smackdown against the opponent. Look at the damage output. The opponents, by the way, all knew that I was running a Mega Pokemon. They were all allowed to use a Mega Pokemon as well. They don't have to, but they were all allowed to. So like, you can expect that most of them have a Mega or Primal Pokemon right now. Going to be also interesting for the Go Fest, by the way. I might actually look for some battles for that one as well, because I will have early access then to the Mega Rayquaza, which is going to be a very interesting Pokemon as well to showcase. Can't wait for that. Also, here we're going to encounter Nihilego, which definitely has literally 0 play against the entire team. There's not a single Pokemon this Pokemon wants to be up against. That's like the sad thing about Nihilego. It's actually a very cool Pokemon, especially against something like Ho-Oh or like the Zacian, but like if you don't get into this matchup, so example, this Groudon from the opponent here would be really decent against that against Nihilego as well. It's just going to be a little bit tough. It's just completely hard-fought by any kind of Steel-type Pokemon, as well as against basically any kind of Ground-type Pokemon, and there are quite a lot of them in the Open Master League. Great play here by the opponent, by the way, by going for the bait with the Fire Punch. I will still be able to go ahead and go for one Side Strike here, doing a ton of damage against the opponent. But I'm now forced to let this move go through, and honestly, it's late. I'm fairly certain I didn't get to the Precipice Blade here, but I'm still using a shield, which is a mistake. It is just a Fire Punch. I was fairly certain that they didn't get to the Precipice Blade yet. This was a mistake by me, of course. Of course, it's just fun battles against friends, so like it's not something where you have to take it super serious, but of course, those small mistakes are something that you can improve on. Here my opponent is actually running a double Fairy Line there in the back, which is going to be very tricky, but honestly, Xerneas has Close Combat, double super effective, a very strong charge move here against us, and it still does not knock us out. And actually, while we were kind of walled here at the end, we still might have been able to win this game if I just went for the Brutal Swing bait here. I just went straight for the charge move, hoping that the opponent let this move go through, which they didn't, and like this, I'm still going to be able to get to the Brutal Swing just because Snarl does basically 1 damage, because we are so insanely bulky. Like, honestly, Mega Tyranitar is such an upgrade for the normal Tyranitar. I feel like normal Tyranitar is just a little bit too clunky. Also, just for raids, it just is like too bulky and doesn't really do too much damage. And this Pokemon is going to be everywhere now. Like, this Pokemon is so strong. It is wild. Next opponent here, by the way, going to be a lot of funny spice there. We're going to have here actually a very meta Pokemon with the Mega Salamence, a very strong Mega Pokemon as well. But in comes now the Shadow variant of Gardevoir. This is definitely not something that you're going to encounter every day, but it's going to be an interesting matchup. They can force realignment here if they want to, but they would need to give up 2 shields here right now. And we're going to be able to go for the Iron Head right now as well to get the knockout against the opponent. Now we have a shield and switch advantage, which is going to come in clutch right now because they're going to go into their fully maxed out, I think that's like a level 50 variant of Porygon 2. Like, honestly, the spice is insane by this player. This is just wild. But of course, Tyranitar has a feast here and the opponent decides to forfeit this battle. Of course, we'll have liked to see like the full farm down there happening, but this is still going to be fine. Yes, you're going to encounter the opponent's Groudon here against us right now. You will be able to just go ahead and go for a Side Strike against the opponent. This is going to do some fairly decent damage against them as well. Primal Groudon going to actually be able to nearly take 2 Side Strikes. It's going to take not as much damage of it. And here the issue is as well, Fire Punch is actually a fairly decent play here because it's going to be stab unlike the normal variant, as it now has the fire typing as well. But also beneficial for us, our Smackdown is going to be now neutral, which was resisted prior, so at least this is going to be a little bit better for us, as the Precious Blade is going to knock us out. Great play by the opponent again. I am forced to shield this move up here. It's going to be another Precious Blade. No, it's going to be a Fire Punch. Again, great play by the opponent here. They're playing it perfect. I have to try to farm all the way down, and luckily this worked out really well. And in comes now the Lugia. And yeah, we're gonna get hard-walled back there. There was not a lot that I can do here. Great play by the opponent again to go into the Lugia himself, the Dialga. But I guess most people expected me to have the Mega Tyranitar in the back anyway. So a lot of people just thought, yeah, we're going to have some Steel types there. It's going to be a little bit tough. But here you see the Iron Head, and it actually still doesn't knock us out, and we can still knock them out. It is wild how strong this Pokemon is. It is just insane how sick this Mega Tyranitar is. Here I was not really paying attention too much on my energy, so I maybe even overfarmed by a little bit here. Yeah, just a little tiny bit there. As we're now going to be able to still go for an Iron Head, but it doesn't really matter anyway. 1 Aeroblast is all we need here to go down with our Dialga. Not really perfectly played by me, but still good game there. But still, you see like in every single game how strong this Pokemon is. Next opponent, very good play here, by the way. Hits a lot of time, rank 1 in the world and whatever. Like, he is like definitely one of the best players in the world. So yeah, we're going to have here now the charge move coming through from the Mewtwo, going to be the Side Strike, going to be doing a ton of damage against the Groudon. We will be able to let the next move go through if we want to, but I'm going to shield up the Precious Blade, and it's definitely nice that we're going to be able to shield their charge move there, as you're going to now see that they're going to mostly shield as well. Yeah, they're going to shield our Side Strike up, and we see what they're going to do here right now. It's going to be the Precious Blade again. And like this, I should be able to realign with my Mewtwo. I should just be able to get to a charge move here. And they're most likely going to let this move go through as well, as we will see here right now. But in comes now the Gyarados. And I make a mistake here, I should have stopped out way earlier, because unlike the normal Gyarados, this Pokemon has now stab on the move to Crunch. And this is going to change quite a bit, because it's going to be the best move to go for. And it's going to make the Dialga into range for 2 crunches. But luckily they are going to go ahead here and go for the Awkward Tail, which I'm going to be able to still resist and still survive, allowing me to go for 1 Iron Head here right now. Going at them low, and now it is time. It is time to go into my Mewtwo, and here I had some lag. I tried to go for the, you actually see it as well, I went for the Shadow Ball, it still went for another fast move, it just didn't register me going for it, the one before. And of course I'm going to lose the CMP tie immediately, so this is really not looking good. It would have been way better looking if I just were able to get my move off, which I wanted to get off, but it just didn't work out. The game is just very laggy right now, to be fair. But here we're going to see that our Tyranitar is just able to tank everything from Mewtwo, which is just nice. And we can go for the Brutal Swing on bait here against the opponent, doing a ton of damage if we're going to be able to hit it. Even though it's going to be a very bulky Pokemon, it's going to be resisted. It's still a stab move from a Mega Tyranitar, and you see already, this puts them perfectly into farmland range for the Smackdown, and this is going to be a very good game. Taking a look at the final game here today, we're going to have the Mewtwo against a Garchomp in the lead. Let's see what they're going to run as a fast move. It's going to be the Dragon Tail. This is going to do a little bit more damage here against us, but does not generate energy as fast, as we're going to get out the Dragonite here as a safe swap, which is going to get completely walled by our Mega Tyranitar. But we have to be a little bit careful because they're going to most likely run the move Superpower, and this would be double super effective, and you see the shield coming up there, going to flash red, because it's going to be super effective. It's something that's actually kind of interesting to see as well. A lot of people don't know that there are actually 3 different types of shields in the game, depending on the effectiveness, and as you're going to see here, most likely they're going to shield this move up. It's again a red shield, which usually would be a blue one, but this is looking really good for us, as now the media mesh is coming through. I will be able to farm them all the way down, and just for the trolls, we're gonna go ahead and go for the Stone Edge instead of the Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is what we usually go for, but Stone Edge, we're going to want to see that one as well here. It's going to do a ton of damage against the opponent, even though it's resisted, allowing us to farm them all the way down with the Dialga. And this is going to be also it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Otherwise, please check out the video here on the screen right now as well. There is a video about how to fix the Open Great League meta, or in general the Pokemon GO Battle League meta right now. So check this video out. It was from earlier. Definitely took a lot of effort into that one as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.